Hello, guys. How are you? How was your weekend? I hope you had a fantastic weekend, a good, refreshing weekend, ready to face the market this week. In this video, what we're going to be looking at are the fundamentals of the week, some currency major pair breakdowns for the major pairs, some indices, and of course, our favorite commodity, gold. So if you're new to the channel, my name is Lawrence, you can call me Black. Be sure to subscribe because we actually upload content on trading, which I believe will be beneficial to you. So without further ado, let's dive right into this video. Today on Monday, we only have one event, which is for the Canadian dollar. It's a holiday, it's Thanksgiving. So I believe today the card will be one of the weakest pairs, right? Okay, so tomorrow we have pound and US pairs, not very strong events although, because for the pound is the average earnings, and that will be the strongest obviously, and the job openings for the US. On Wednesday, we're going to have for the pound some strong events, the GDP, gross domestic products, right? And this is for September obviously, so that means it's obviously going to be very, very strong. So these are the strongest event of the day in the week, I believe, the GDP. For the US, we have the core retail sales and the firms meeting. This will be also another strong event for the US. We have interest rate, employment change, right? It's employment change for the Aussie, also on Wednesday. So on Wednesday, it's going to be a very volatile day for the Aussie, US, and the pound, and obviously the most volatile day of the week. On Thursday, we're going to have the US, all events for the US, obviously, initial jobless claims, PPI, and crude oil inventories. On Friday, we're going to have, again, strong events for the US, the core retail sales and the retail sales for September. Strong events. So this week also, I believe it's going to be a very strong week, driven by fundamentals. The US going to be dominating because, hey, it's going to be having fundamentals in 4 days, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. Obviously, just not today, we're not going to be having any fundamentals for the US, but for the rest of the week, we're going to have crazy moves for the US. And obviously, since the market is actually dominated by 80% of the transactions by the US dollar, I believe this is going to be a very, very, very volatile. So let's look at the currency pairs, of course. Okay, starting off with NAS100. NAS100, as you can see, prices after bouncing here, we always anticipated for prices to fall until this support area and keep on heading higher. And it's been that way ever since, as you can see. Right now, prices just broke below this ascending trend line, retested it. Let's also add on the Fibonacci. It retraced just at the tip of the 0.618, obviously the golden key level. So right now, what I'm expecting to see is for prices to actually push to around this zone here before we actually see prices gain its bullish move all the way up there, because this is an uptrending edge, right? So that's what I expect on NAS100. Let's check out EURUSD. Okay. Now, EURUSD, it's obviously right now sitting on a weekly support zone, which is a very crazy strong support zone. So what I'm expecting right now is for prices to actually bounce off this zone, right? As you can see here, it has already broken the trend since it broke this high right here. So that means the trend has been broken, and I will be expecting to see prices keep on pushing higher. Until prices go below this low here, then I'm still bullish biased as far as I'm concerned. That's EURUSD. We have Gbpusd, USD, obviously bullish biased in this pair too. Prices just broke above this high, this previous high. So my bias right now is actually to see prices keep on pushing higher to around this resistance area up here. But firstly, as you can see here, we're going to be facing a lot of resistances. So as soon as prices first hit this first resistance, I'll go break even, right? Because there's a possibility it might reverse. And if prices break above, I'll be looking to add on positions to actually swing higher to around here. But then once prices again reach here in this second resistance, I'll be closing half the lot size for the first trade and going break even on the second. And once prices reach here, well, it's touchdown, baby. We just hit take profit. So that's what I'm expecting. Although if it does reverse, I'll be expecting to see prices break below this trend line and will swing all the way down here. That's my bias on the Gbp USD. And I'm obviously biased like that because as you can see in the US dollar right here, prices have not yet really given us that direction since it's right now in this triangle pattern. So a breakout out of this triangle will actually give us the confirmation of the direction in the US pairs and the major US pairs that we actually need. So if prices break below here, right, obviously our first target will be around here. As you can see, there's a zone here, right? This will be around the first targets. And then if it breaks below here, then our second targets will be all the way down here. If it comes up here, then this will be our target, right? Short-lived. So that's what I'm expecting on the US dollar, okay? We have Usdjpy. Usdjpy, oh my God, this trade, it's crazy. Look at this. I marked it the exact same way, right? So obviously I did miss its entry. On Friday, I didn't take the trade. I don't really trade on Fridays as it's the end of the week, and especially last Friday, which was an NFP involved. So it was very risky, very volatile, crazy moves. But it did play out according to how I was expecting. I was expecting to see prices give me a retracement to this trend line here. Let me remove this. To this trend line and then shoot higher, right? So my targets were all the way up here in this resistance, and right now prices are pushing. So if it does retrace before reaching the take profit zone, I'll be taking the trade. But if it doesn't, oh well, next time. So my bias is that after prices reach here, I'll be expecting to see prices reverse all the way to around here. And depending on the momentum on the support zone, I'll be waiting to see if it breaks and reach all the way down there. So that's my general bias on Usdjpy. We have Usdchf. Also, it's in some sort of consolidation, as you can see here, right? I made an answer, okay. They took a minute. Okay, so as you can see right now, for this currency pair, prices are in some sort of little bit of consolidation here. So once prices break out of this consolidation, I'll be expecting to see which direction it's going, right? So if it breaks out of here, I'll be expecting for prices to push down below this resistance. Wait for a retest, obviously, before I actually shoot lower. But if it breaks above, then I'll be looking for trades to go along all the way up there. So that's my bias on the Usdchf, obviously. Let's look at gold. Gold. Okay. So gold right now, I'm also not going to say my directional bias. As you can see, it's in a consolidation, right? It's in a consolidation. Right here, we had a fake false breakout, and then it came back to the zone right now here. So it's crazy. It's crazy. It's in between two zones. So what I'm expecting for gold is actually that I'll be waiting for prices to actually give me a direction, right? So if prices do come back up here and break above this resistance, I'll be expecting to see prices keep on pushing all the way up there. And if prices break below this zone, I'll be expecting to see prices push it to here and then finish our journey with a sweet touch on the major resistance down there. So that's what I'm expecting on gold. Obviously, the break on the US dollar will give us clear directional bias on these major pairs and this commodity called gold. Now let's also look at our all-time favorite. It's been a minute since we actually looked at this pair. Volatility 75. Oh my God, it's been a minute. Okay, so volatility 75, looking at it from a daily perspective, prices have broken below this. As you can see here, we have a double bottom, right? So this was the neckline and prices just broke above it, right? So heading to the 4-hour, and yesterday's candle was crazy bullish. Okay, back to the 4-hour on the 75, you can see it's kind of losing momentum. So right now, obviously the bulls are still in control, but then prices, I believe, will be coming back here to look for more bullish pressure before they actually take off into space, right? So as you know, the rules of trading off this triangle pattern, our first targets will be around here, obviously. Our first targets, excuse me, our first targets will be around this zone here. And then our second targets will be all the way up there. So that's what I'm expecting to see on volatility 75. Let's see how it goes. I hope you all have enjoyed this video. If so, be sure to smash that like button, subscribe, and don't forget to hit that bell notification so that you'll be notified whenever I release future content. Let's have a great week, guys. Peace and love.